All right, guys, we'll call our city commission meeting to order at 7 p.m., February 17th, 2026. We do have a full board tonight, so we can hop right into the agenda. Let's start with our Pledge of Allegiance. All right, first up, we got our minutes for the February 2nd regular commission meeting, and then also the February 2nd special meeting, special commission meeting. You guys all had a chance to look at those, and if so, we'll need a motion to approve them if they're correct.
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes as posted.
I'll second.
All right, we got a motion and a second to approve the minutes as posted. Let's move to a vote.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes?
Yes.
Yes.
All right, motion carries. Okay, commissioners report. Go ahead, Kyle.
Good evening, everyone. I don't have a whole lot. Mother Nature has been blessing us with warm weather, so the roads have cleared up and dried up, which is awesome to see. We do have weather coming in. The guys are ready to hit it at all fronts if it does get icy again. Kind of one thing, I guess, I've been talking with Dan. We're gonna meet with the tree committee here tomorrow. We're gonna look at some upcoming grants for this year. And there's 3 different grants available. We'll decide on which one to go for and bring that to the board. That's all I got. Thanks.
All right, I've been gone on a trip, so my side's gonna be pretty light. I haven't been around. So, but I will say that, the 2025 year-end budget and transfers, looks like that's all kind of completed and looked over that. That all looks good. I stopped in at City Hall today and they were working on, payroll. So, I do have a local permit for raffle here that I'll have to add to the agenda. And other than that, that's it for me.
Yeah, I'm new to this job, so I'm gonna have Cody give you a rundown on the police department.
I really don't have any updates at this time. Yeah, that's about it for me.
Okay, mine's pretty light as well. We're gonna cover some of it in the agenda. But speaking of agenda items, I've noticed we've kind of fallen into this little trap of not putting things into City Hall early in advance. So technically what happens is we have stuff that gets added to the agenda or their last minute adds before the agenda goes out. And then we've got to look at all the documentation here Monday evenings before the meeting. I don't love that. I mean, we're very prepared in everything we do, and some of this low hanging fruit, I think we could also be much better prepared on. So just keep in mind, if we have some last minute items that we want to throw on there, they really should be emergent type things. Otherwise, they can wait till the next meeting, you know. It's inconvenient to Wendy and her team. It's inconvenient to all of us because we feel like we're not prepared, and in all reality, it's because we're not prepared. We need to have a few days to digest some of this information. And to Jaden's point with the year-end budget transfers, well, Jaden, you know, we are in a very, very strong financial position. We've proven that we can set aside cash and save for a rainy day, and I think we have a whole lot of years of security in our back pocket. That opens the door to all sorts of interesting possibilities. I mean, if we want to do a project that's larger scale, we could probably do that. If we could do some smaller projects, we could do that. Or do we want to pay off the remaining balance on our long-term debt, which really the only thing we have left is that new expansion on the community center. So something to think about. I don't think we necessarily want to have a dollar target in mind, like this is our nest egg, but we need to think about it as in how many years of security can we stockpile and set aside to run the city as we're currently running it. This last year, we really dialed in our operating expenses, so we should have some really good actuals of what it costs to run the city year over year. So think about that. It's a good problem to have, but it's something that we shouldn't just ignore. I don't think we need to just keep stacking cash left and right year over year. I mean, we still need to do things that better this community, give community members things to do, but also generate some income too. I think that's one of the bigger things that we've been lacking. So just something to think about. All right, so modifications or approval of the agenda. Jaden, you've got a raffle permit. Do you want to throw that on the consent agenda?
Yeah, it can get put under that.
Okay, so that'll go under consent on 15, and who's it for?
It's for the District 2 Republicans.
At District 2.
I'll have to remove, number 3, the water rescue. I was speaking with, Joel Shaffett. We are gonna wait with that one, so we'll remove number 3.
Hey guys, you know the drill. We're changing all the numbers by 1. So consent starts on 7 and new business starts on 3. All right, old business. Liz? Yeah, we got Liz.
Hang on,
I'm
Liz.
here.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm getting excited. How about that agenda, guys?
I'll make a motion to approve the agenda with the modifications of scratching off the water rescue and adding the District 2 Republicans.
I'll second that.
All right, we got a motion and a second to approve the modified agenda. Any discussion on that? Okay, let's move to a vote.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes?
Yes,
Yes. All right, motion carries. All right, try number 2, Liz. You're up.
All right, that sounds good. I have a bit of a cold, so maybe that's a blessing because I'll be quite short tonight myself. Good again to see a full board. Hi, Bob. Welcome again. I will just let you know we have a couple of things cooking. First item is a floodplain ordinance. I'll thank Dan Larson for bringing that to my attention. He received notice from the state near February 6th that we would have to engage in some review. He sent that to me. That was 2 Fridays ago, actually, for review and follow up both with the state and with Dan and Wendy, who did some good research. It looks like we're going to have to do a completely new ordinance. Good news is they make model ordinances for folks like us. So we will be looking through that, making our own unique add-ons to that essentially pre-manufactured ordinance. And I expect, in the interest of what Brett has said, which I fully support, in the interest of preparedness, if we could tentatively slate that for reading and review on the second March meeting, I think that would be totally fair. I'd like to tell you the first March meeting, but I've got a pretty hefty calendar and February is a short month. So if we can tentatively set that for the second March meeting, I think we'll be good and ready. Other matter that came to my attention, as you all know, we've been doing some work in the Annabelle subdivision. We hired the title team to review, and they did a wonderful job to review some title work. And in accordance with the statute, due to the replat, they have found some title defects. I have done a cursory review of the materials Dan has sent. I can tell you off the cuff and without looking too deeply into it, there are a couple of corrective options that will be available to us. We're going to pick the least intrusive, least expensive, most practical way to cure those. I'm going to try to let you guys know what those means amount to at the first March meeting. But again, I'll check in with Wendy, maybe the second March meeting for that discussion, depending on calendaring. But I will shoot as to the title issues for the first March meeting. That way we can get that out of the way. Summary of that, essentially, it's not all that unusual. It sounds bad, but basically there's a deceased party who appears in the chain of title. That person is deceased, I think. And again, it was a cursory view. It looks like there was an accidental kind of severance of what was a joint tenancy because it was an incomplete conveyance. Couple ways to fix that, as I mentioned. So I'm gonna pop the hood on that and see what's the easiest way to fix that, whether that's reopening a probate or perhaps doing a quiet title action remains to be seen. So I'll follow up with that, not later than the second meeting in March, possibly the first. Finally, I will let you guys know that there's been quite a bit of activity on the Discovery front in Roller Coaster Road. I'm probably silly for being an optimist. We're at a hot and heavy pace with the new third party and the discovery that's occurring there. My sincere hope, and I think it's a realistic hope, is that once we get through all of that, I expect there'll be a few more depositions that are likely to occur. There's a good possibility of some more substantial settlement talks. We're going to keep that in our pocket because it's much more efficient for everyone to come to the revelation of what their legal realities are than there are to litigate those realities. But the city remains in good shape and compliant with all of its obligations in that suit. So that's been helpful. In coming months, I will let you know we've had some tentative conclusions on other matters that have remained active until various statutes and timelines run. I can't make specific announcement about those matters, but what I can tell you is that I think we're finally seeing some daylight and conclusion on some old affairs and matters that were significant to the city. I will keep an eye on those timelines and those statutes, and I will update the board accordingly when we know we have complete sunrise there. So I think that's all I have for this evening. Certainly I'll stay tuned, and if you guys need me, I'm here, and if you have any questions, I'm happy to answer them. But that's all I have for tonight, I think.
We lost you at the very tail end of that, Liz, for probably, I don't know, 5 seconds or so.
Well, I probably didn't say anything terribly meaningful. All I said was that I will stay tuned for the balance of the meeting. And if you all need me, I'm happy to answer any questions that you may have during the course of the meeting. Looks like a pretty light agenda tonight, so.
Okay. I got one on that floodplain ordinance. We got to do a first and second reading. There's like 18 pages of that darn thing. Are we going from top to bottom in its entirety?
We will, but since I speak when I'm ready at the speed of an auctioneer, I will promise you, since I'm here, I'll read it front to back for you, and I'll be there for both meetings, if that sounds like a plan.
Sounds like a good plan, because if I read it, or if these guys know I'm gonna read it, they just might not show up.
I doubt that,
I might
but
not show up.
I'll be ready and free of a cold, I hope, by that point.
Guys, do you have any questions for Liz?
The only thing I have to say, I guess, is in regards to Roller Coaster Road. I drove on it again today. The condition of that road is tremendously getting worse with all the settling that's been going on. So we might have to do some temporary road repair, but we'll have to see as far as pricing and all that and see where that goes. But we'll have to keep a earmark on that. But it is definitely getting worse.
And Kyle, I think that's a fair point, and I'm happy you raise it. If, and I'm happy to just loop you in very directly with other counsel for TerraFlex. They're our general contractor. Before your entry into this, and this is all public record, so I'm not sharing anything that's going to surprise anyone or put you in a bind. There was a memorandum of initial work and a memorandum of understanding that was executed almost immediately within very short order of us discovering those defects and faults. That sort of forced those expenses, those practical expenses, onto the general contractor. Again, you know, my view, and I realize maybe I'm a little partisan, but I'm really not. I'm speaking from a purely legal standpoint here. The city paid what the city owed under that contract, right? And we bargained for a road, a new road. If there are repairs that are eminently needed, temporary, right? We're not redoing the whole thing right now, but if there are temporary repairs that need to be done, Kyle, that's a process we can repeat. You and I can meet up with RJ counsel for TerraFlex and renegotiate another temporary memorandum to take care of that stuff if we need to. So I know that was a long way to say this. If you isolate what those may be, and you know what they may be, let me know, and I'll set up a call with you and me and RJ and Josh if needed, and their guy if needed, and we'll get that hammered out. But I believe you. Josh reached out and told me there was observable movement. And so we're just gonna have to kind of take it as it comes and fix it as it comes until we have a final solution.
Yep, will do, thanks.
Okay, thanks, Liz.
Thank you.
Kyle, can you turn to the right and see if you see Josh Reiner on there? He's not. Okay. Right, we are squashing number 2, moving on to number 3 on new business, the K-9 unit. So Cody, you can come on up and tell us what's on your mind. Three
Good
and
afternoon.
4.
Yeah, so, that's something that came across my desk. We have a 2025 K-9 unit. It's got the kennel in it, everything like that. We obviously don't have a K-9 unit anymore. Williston PD is actually getting another dog. So, I talked to them, I talked to, Chief Stephen Gutnick, and what we came up with was we're pretty much going to give them our kennel, our AC unit out of the K-9, and they're going to pay for the cost to put a normal seat back in the K-9. Multiple reasons for that. I don't foresee us getting a dog in the near future. That squad car, the 2025, it's one of the newest ones we have in the fleet. And when you have to put more than 2 people in the back of a squad car, we can't because one side is strictly for a dog. So if, say, one of my officers had to transport 2 people to jail, they're not gonna be able to do that, and now one's gonna have to go in the front seat as well as somebody in the back. 1% actually was the one that purchased all that K-9 stuff for us. So the city of Tioga is not out any money, and I wouldn't feel right selling it, knowing that 1% gifted it to us. So I think it's the cleanest way to do it. We get our K-9 unit outfitted as a normal patrol car like the rest of them, and we also help out another agency in our county. So they would take care of the pricing. Henry and Heckbelt and Williston, he said it'll take about a day and a half to completely do that changeover. So we won't be without that car for a long period of time.
So what's the action you're looking for? You just want the okay to
Yeah.
go with that? It's gonna be a $0 transaction.
Correct. Yep. Yep. I worked out with them. Like I said, they're gonna pay for the commission fee, decommission fee, all that. They're actually giving us seats out of their 2025 Explorer. And we're giving them the kennel and the AC unit, so. Cause it kind of, yeah, it's one of those things we don't have a need for it anymore. And to be honest, I don't think we ever should have gotten a brand new K-9 unit at the time anyways. So I'm just trying to do right by everybody and take care of it.
I don't know if it necessarily does right by us, but it does do right by Williams County, the 1% committee. I mean, they gave us the funds to acquire all that, and if someone else in Williams County can utilize it, that's great. I mean, it continues to irritate me that our lack of desire to keep the bare minimum requirements on that canine department just fell short, and these little consequences keep popping up left and right. So if we can take a small moral victory and do right by somebody else on the 1% committee, I suppose I'm fine with it. But we need to be very much so aligned that we are not doing the K-9 program again.
Correct.
Because I don't feel like we can go back to the 1% committee and ask for another package.
I don't think we can either. So, and this will be the last thing with the K-9 unit. Like this patrol car is the last part that we have with it, so.
I guess the only question I had is will they be also removing the sticker then as well?
Yep, or
So that's-
I can take care of that
Yep.
myself as well.
Yep, just so it's
Yep.
uniformity across the
Yep,
board.
yep, it'll be
Sorry.
completely, yeah, that's K-9 unit sticker will be gone.
Yeah, no, that's a great idea to just get the 2-person seat,
Yeah.
prisoner seat in the back and just get it switched out so they're uniformity across the board.
Yeah, because like I said, it's a brand new 2025 patrol car. We don't need to have a K-9 unit in there when we don't have a dog. So we're gonna have that car for the foreseeable future, so. If we end up hiring somebody new or one day and someone else ends up inheriting that patrol car, well, I don't want them to drive around with a K-9 unit patrol car. You know, so it's just one of those things I'm also looking for in the future as well, so.
I'll make the motion to grant you permission to seek that out, getting the the canine, seat or whatever you'd call it, switched out for a normal seat
Okay.
and have,
Okay. Do you guys need me to do like a contract with Williston PD that they're taking care of the expenses, like things like that? You want me to have them draft something up or have us draft something up, or just so we have it in writing as well?
Yeah, it could.
Absolutely, yeah.
Wendy, what does that look like? Just a purchase agreement. It's got to have some sort of monetary value. So we're talking like $1.
Yeah, we can do that.
Okay.
I'll second that motion.
Oh, sorry, guys. I'll just jump in and say, Cody, for guidance. I mean, certainly I work with Taylor Olson, who's their attorney there. But a bill of sale or a bill of exchange is probably ideal. I tend to agree it should be in writing. But you would want to note the exchange, not just the dollar value. That's all I have to say.
Okay, so would I go about that with me and Williston's chief, or would that be something that you would handle?
A memorandum would be fine. So if you guys talk about it and you email it to me, Cody, I'll make sure it gets to Taylor, and Taylor and I'll reduce it to writing. It'll be short form and easy.
Okay, I appreciate that.
All right. Do we want to, just for Wendy's sake in minutes, do we want to clean the motion up at all? Like shorten it up? Or are you fine with the way it was, Wendy?
Yeah, I'm fine with it. It just, the motion just didn't say that the canine unit would go to Williston Police Department. And if you wanted that.
yeah, I mean, I can amend my motion. So I'll move that, you have permission to, do the exchange,
Sure.
and the canine, seat kennel,
Yeah.
go to Williams County Sheriff's Department
Williston PD.
or Williston PD, sorry. And,
I still second that.
All right. We got a motion and a second to approve the exchange for the canine seat and kennel to the Williston PD. Any discussion on that one?
I have some reservations. Why wouldn't you just change, why wouldn't you just pass along the whole unit? It's all regular, save the price of rigging one down, rigging another one up.
I think probably the big part of that is
that gonna be the decal? Isn't that?
yeah, we got vinyl graphics galore on our cars, and then there's like those phantom graphics that you can't really see unless you got light. It'd be quite costly to remove all the
They're
graphics
like
and
$700 just for those graphics. So it's pretty expensive.
are you saying like exchanging cars totally?
Yes,
Then we would have that on Williston's car as well then.
the 1%. Be like giving back the car as a canine unit to the 1% and let them distribute it wherever they wanted to. I just hate to waste money. Especially, you got something already to go and you're gonna tear that down and build another one. Just seems to me like it's a little excessive.
I don't believe they're tearing the whole thing down. They're just taking the back seat out, the kennel and the AC unit, putting it in Williston's car, and then Williston's giving us their seat. We're installing it, or they're installing it.
Yeah, yeah.
So it's a $0 transaction, right?
Yeah, it's nothing. We don't spend a dime.
And
It's
then
all on their dime.
It's all in their dime.
then we retain the graphics on our car. They retain the graphics on their
Correct.
car. And
Yeah, yeah, because I think if we do a full exchange for like their 2025 versus our 2025, okay, well then now they're gonna have to pay for our graphics, their graphics, decommission it, and that would get pretty expensive. And they'd probably be forking over the bill for that. So I don't know if they'd even accept that. I think it was just the easiest way is just exchange out the seats between the two squads, and
Cause the two squad cars are the exact same, right?
yes, yes.
Okay, we're not gonna run into an issue where they take that out, it doesn't fit in ours for any reason.
No, so.
So literally it's just
Yeah,
swap.
and that kennel that's in our canine unit right now, that was actually in the old canine unit as well, so it's not brand new equipment. I think that equipment's probably 8, 9, 10 years old, came from the old canine unit, so, Yeah, it's not brand new equipment.
Okay.
Yeah, any other discussion on that?
Oh, yeah, I guess we have to let them have their way. No, no more.
All right, let's move to a vote.
Yes.
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 All right, motion carries. And then update.
Yep, so, once a month I know me and you talk about this, is kind of give an update of the things that we're seeing. I actually had Darcy, do an Excel spreadsheet from the month of September, October, December, January, and February, just so we can kind of look at, cause I've been saying how our calls of service been really picking up. We've been getting up a lot busier. So in the month of September, we only responded to 64 calls. It bumped up the next month to 128, and then in December, it was 96. The month of January, we responded to 228 calls. And then February to date, only 17 days of February, we've responded to 216 calls already in the month of February. So what we're seeing, it's going up. I've said this before, we're starting to get more serious calls. Border Patrol was in town last week. I worked with them on a case. They said there's more of that going on in our community. So yeah, we are seeing a big uptick in calls for service right now. I don't know why that is, but the last 2 months, yeah, we've responded almost 500 calls in a month and a half. So that's your traffic stops, your assaults, your domestics, I mean, everything. And that's just, yeah, already just the start of this year, already 500 calls. So I just wanted to let people be aware. We are very busy. My guys make me look good. They're other ones doing all this work. And that's kind of nice because we finally got fully staffed and now you're seeing what fully staffed can do for our community and, you know, protect and serve and all that stuff. So just wanted the commission to kind of be aware of that our calls are really going up.
I just want to say thanks to all the PD officers. I mean, everyone's rocking out, doing a heck of a job. So definitely appreciate all that and all the hard work everyone's putting into it. Thanks. As well as in the office, I know screening calls and evidentiary stuff and getting court documents going, all that. So it's all a lot of work. So
Yeah,
appreciate
there was
it.
a lot of different hats.
Yeah, for sure. Good job, definitely.
So, yeah, this, I want to give thanks to my department. Because like I said, we finally got fully staffed roughly the end of January with those two being off FTO. So that's only 3 weeks of them being off FTO and all these calls already. So just wanted the public to be aware that we are seeing an uptick in a lot of calls right now. So.
Yeah, I think the best part about that whole thing is things are getting way busier, but the sense around town is that it's still very, very quiet,
Yep.
which means we have a very safe community to live in, and that's largely in part by you and your team. And yeah, thank you for the update and keeping us appraised of what's going on.
Absolutely.
Okay, is anything else for Cody?
Bob, you want me to elaborate on anything or we good?
No, I'm okay.
Yeah.
Just, thanks the whole department there.
It's them.
Thanks, appreciate it. All right, new business number 5, that's the community center, parking lot traffic. I've got some pretty good insight on that. And it looks like Kyle's been putting together some quotes for resolution, but the gist of the conversation is that everybody kind of knows that that parking lot has turned into a shortcut to the grocery store and the little mini mall there and gym and all that. And we are going to try to figure out a way to combat that because it's an ongoing problem and it's getting worse. Like believe it or not, we had a semi drive through there the other day. So there's no holds barred and nobody is using it as a parking lot anymore. Everybody's parking on the west side and the east side is it's a shortcut. So we got to figure something out on how to rectify that and stop it because eventually somebody's going to get hurt. People just fly through there. You see kids coming out of the old part of the community center and then car goes whizzing through there. So I think one of the harder things a guy has to figure out is when enough is enough. And I think tonight is one of those nights where enough is enough. So let's try to do a little collaborating here and come up with something to stop this problem. So Kyle, you've got some quotes, you've got some ideas if you want to run us through those.
Yeah, so like I said, I was a little behind the eight ball as far as getting a few things together, but couple options. So I talked to the streets guys, and we do have some signage at the shop. We can put up, I guess, to start the process as far as letting people know that it's not a through street. We can start with that, as well as, there's other means. You can do speed bumps, you can do concrete jersey barriers, you can go combination of both, whatever it may be. I'm just trying to think outside the box, I guess, as far as safety. Because unfortunately, we can't have the patrol officers down there 24/7 just patrolling the parking lot. It's not functional. So we have to have another means of safety. So I did get a couple quotes today, for some jersey barriers. One was for Rock Resources, and then the other one was for Cody Concrete. Like I said, it's just some quotes on what route we want to go. I figured I'd bring a few options to the table and we'll go from there.
So what are we thinking, just on the, north approaches? For the barriers, or are you thinking like putting barriers throughout the parking lot, or
Well,
I would assume they're,
so the one with the aerial mapping photo that has got the footage on there. So that's the footage of what's marked. That's the footage across the entrances there. I don't know which route we want to go with, but I had Dan go out, do some measurements quick this morning, and that way we can get a visual of kind of what we're looking at for cost wise. So that's what that aerial photo is about. And then the others are just the quotes and photographs of the jersey barriers.
yeah, it's really unfortunate. It's always nice to have access to a facility, but I mean, you got the grocery store parking lot, the road next to the grocery store, between the strip mall and the grocery store. You got Highway 40, Signal Road to the west, and then R2. So the reality is traffic can come from 6 different directions at once, and I mean, we've seen it. I definitely would be in favor of at least trying signage for now on the north access roads. Um, Something like not an exit, just so people turn around, and eventually they're gonna get the hint, like, there's no point in driving through here, it's a dead end.
What do the signs usually say? No through traffic, something like that, don't they?
Yeah, the sign, I do have a pamphlet here. It's got all sorts of signs that they sell. The Newman does. And one of them would be road closed to through traffic would be probably a big one. And I know we do have some down at the shop of them. But they, like I said, they make all sorts of signs that you can pick from. So it's just kind of whatever we think would be best as far as representation of what we need to do.
I don't know, it was a really good idea having those approaches on the north side, just extra access points, but like I said, they're not being used for that anymore. I mean, maybe some people are using it, but a lot of people are abusing it too, so we gotta, I don't know, do you guys wanna try signs first? And if that doesn't work, or if that doesn't stick, just barricade them off, or just remove the approaches completely down the road? And it's gonna kind of be a trial by fire thing, but at the end of the day, we gotta do something.
I would say signs, and if we do anything, like speed bumps. I think barricading it off is foolish, cause then if we need to use it, that's just extra time and work. And then taking it out too, we probably do want it there. So I think if anything, speed bump would be the way to go if we wanna do something about it. But I don't know what that's gonna cost, so maybe we just try signs, see how that works.
I don't know if cost is too big of a deal with the speed bumps. It's the maintenance, the guy, like our city guys who clean out the parking lot every morning. They're gonna have to be mindful of them and go around them and the one thing about speed bumps is unless you go the entirety of that east parking lot, people are just gonna go around them.
You'd have to do that. But I think barricades is another one that's just gonna involve work and maintenance too, though, so.
Sir,
Instead of concrete barricades, why don't you just use wood barricades? The wood barricade the street off, why don't you just wood barricade that off? They're light, and your concrete barricades, all you do is take the payloader over there with forks on it, pick it up and move it when you have an event in there. If you're gonna go with the concrete barricade. I mean, there's no, it's drive a payloader over, I'm sure we got forks for a payloader.
Oh, we do. It's just like one of our city guys will have to quit doing what they're
Yeah.
supposed to be doing to go do that.
Yeah, your sign.
It's not the end of the world.
No.
Either, but-
Main Street,
Yeah.
you got signs, adding.
They're not that
another sign,
effective,
You got 5 signs going down your sign pole, adding another sign there, will be.
well, you know, we got that weird little roundabout in front of the new part of the community center and it'd be the east approach says do not enter.
Yeah.
Without fail. I go to the community center and I start turning in and then I see the sign and it's like, it's just how many people are gonna disregard that and just,
Keep on through, the fence slow down, go over them, and then pick up speed going through again.
Yeah, like right now you have the Pee Wee wrestling going on and that north access. I mean, I haven't seen it been abused by any of those people, but the amount of people that use that north access the right way, I think that, I mean, you just have something at the.
I mean, you can't necessarily blame people either. It was like that before the community center came up. There's been a road there since the beginning of time, so, I mean, it's not, I don't even think it's the end of the world if somebody drives through there. But, speed bumps would be nice. That way they don't get rolling too fast. That way it's dangerous. Probably have to do two.
Speed, and all the traffic can still go through there, at a very reduced speed. And you got the guys that are clearing it off, they're gonna take out your speed bump. Sure. I'd just get a cement barrier and put it on the south side, and when there's nothing going on in there, put it there, like how they got the wrestling going on there, I guess. Pick that up, set it to the side.
They have wrestling multiple times a week.
Yeah, and then
It'd be a
like,
nonstop job of moving barricades.
and does Continental go every Tuesday or is that just
We
like?
get-
No, I think it's just one.
Well, they
We could have a snow gate there.
Yeah, no. Absolutely.
like they shut the road down with.
yeah. Well, and that's the big thing is we're not isolating traffic from the community center. We're just trying to stop the through traffic. Like, yeah, we've got
Still coming in and come out.
4 accesses on the south side.
And then realistically, if there is signs, my police department, we can start letting people know, making traffic stops, hey, this is not through traffic, it's letting people know more as well, so.
So I guess with that, I mean, I really think that first off, we need to start with signs. And then as well as we need to use Facebook and social media. And we can make a post about it as well. I mean, I'm guilty, just like everyone else. I've used that roadway, but I'm not racing through there. You're driving reasonable and sensible to where you're at. You know, you're passing through a highly congested area. I think that's what we probably need to start with, and then, of course, next meeting, we can revisit it again, see where we're at, and go from there. And the thing is the community or the city does not own any barricades as far as concrete barricades. So we'd have to purchase some if we wanted to go that route. But we do have some signs on hand, so that's kind of, I guess, where we're at right now, is I think we need to start with signage and social media and police presence, and just start with that initially. And then maybe we need to purchase some ballards in the meantime and go from there, but I guess that's, my recommendation.
Yeah, no, I agree. That's probably the play. What are we doing for signage then? What do we have?
I know they have a couple road closed to through traffic signs. So I would have to get with the city guys tomorrow and figure out, kind of how we mount it, cause that would probably be the one hiccup as far as with the wind and everything else, so it's not getting blown over. That was securely fastened to something, but, we could figure something out and get some signs put up in the meantime, I guess.
You wouldn't wanna just put in a one call and drive some posts and make them permanent?
I guess I didn't go and look at it to that extent as far as adding to existing posts, but, maybe that is an option too, maybe.
It would be on the north side, right? Like, we wanna keep the entrance at the front of the building, correct?
Well,
Those are our main doors. They're all on the south side of the building.
correct.
Either way with those signs, if it's just no through traffic, wouldn't you want that on both sides? You're not blocking people. It's just saying either entrance you come in, if you're gonna come in here, it's to use the community center, not to drive through.
But then like, I mean, like what's the punishment if they do drive through? Like, are we actually gonna be like policing that? Like, that seems kind of like, I don't know that it really hurts if somebody drives through there if they're going appropriate speed.
And I agree with that too. Just like Kyle, like, I've definitely gone through there, but I'm not speeding. I'm, just like I told him earlier.
Truth be told, the parking lot sits empty most of the time. So I mean, what does it really hurt if somebody drives through
So
there?
you put cement barriers on the south side, let them come in the north side, and if they come in, they're gonna have to turn around and go back out the north side, you do that a couple of times, you're gonna defer them.
Well, I'm sure it would, but like, what does it really matter if somebody drives through there?
That's the issue.
There's
Complaints.
been
Oh,
complaints.
yeah. Complaints of public's, it's our gals at the community center that are working there, that are watching it. Like I said, we've got semis driving through there now. This isn't, I mean, this is a problem.
Oh, yeah, I mean, that's,
No,
maybe, obviously that can't happen, but like, what? That's good, yeah, I mean, there. I'm just like, I understand if people are driving recklessly, but like, I'm just saying, what does it really hurt if somebody just, you know?
South entrance?
Either. They could come in
There,
either.
walk over to the.
Most likely, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And they shouldn't be doing that. Cause you got the road,
You're off the truck route, there's not a truck route to a parking lot.
Right.
no.
That should be a punishable fine, kids back in.
Exactly.
yeah, that would be, but like,
Yeah, I
what
agree.
would be the punishment for a car driving through there?
So then I think like this meeting. Should get an estimate for. this road. Not have the fast traffic that at least will. But then again, I don't know who would be in charge of putting the lot of how you put the speed bumps in, you know what I'm saying? Cause it sounds like signage to the people wouldn't matter, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
I don't,
Well, and I agree, like, at least speed bumps, people are gonna go through there, that's gonna force them to slow down, but I also understand that's gonna make it a lot harder to clean the parking lot.
Way harder to clean. the
But
parking lot.
if we are gonna put signage, and I know maybe this sounds dumb, but at least signage just says no semis. And that way it can be enforced if they do pull in there, but, cause like Kyle said, I don't think it does really harm as long as people are following the rules through there, which hopefully the speed bump would enforce slowing down, but absolutely semis don't need to be driving through there. They don't need to be pulling over, stopping to go to cash wise. That's not okay.
But I think you're on the right track, starting with signs and policing. I think it's important to do it now, because when that turns into a stop sign on Signal Road, that's really when you're gonna have people cutting through there. So it probably is important to start something now, making it very clear that that's not a through street anymore. Because once they get hung up at that stop sign versus stoplights, they're really gonna want to cut.
Yeah, and that's, here's what I know. If I drive through the parking lot taking my shortcut to the grocery store and I see a sign that says not an exit, that's the very last time I'm using the parking lot to go to the grocery store. People will pay attention.
They will,
Right,
but it's
right.
probably gonna piss people off. Like, what's the good justification for blocking that off? You gotta have a justification for something if you're gonna do something like that, in my opinion.
The justification for me is we had people concerned about kids' safety because people are not using it as a parking lot, they're using it as a street. So is the answer just get rid of all the painted stripes as a parking lot and paint street stripes? I don't think
No,
so.
but I mean, I don't really think you can blame people for wanting to drive. Like I said, there was a road there. I mean, that's people been cutting through there to get for
Oh, I know,
as long as I can remember.
I understand that, and like Main Street wasn't always a one-way either, so you,
And many
Yeah, but
people
you
would like to
can't-
change that too.
well, I know, but that's the same as saying you can't blame them for driving north on Main Street. Well, yeah, you can, there's a sign.
Well, that's a legal, I mean, I get what you're saying.
I hear what you're saying too.
I just don't want people getting, like in trouble for driving through the parking lot. That seems a little silly. But
This is very quickly turning into a dishwasher and gopher eradication conversation. But we should figure something out.
well, let's just start with the signs, see what happens. Probably would be the smartest thing.
Okay, what approaches? North side, south side? Okay. Do we have all that, or do we need to get some quotes?
Well, I believe we only have two signs as far as what reads road closed to through traffic, so we'd have to get a couple more signs, but I didn't get any quotes for the signs, for them signs, because I didn't know what route we wanted to go with. But I can't imagine they're that crazy priced either.
All right, so do you want to do a not to exceed situation?
I think that's the best route to go with, otherwise we'll be waiting another couple weeks, but, like I said, I can't imagine the signs from Newman traffic signs are that crazy priced either. So, but I don't know what a sign would be either, so, not to exceed. I make a motion to not to exceed $2,000 for signage from Newman Signs.
A motion. Be just a minute to think about it.
I'll second it.
All right, we got a motion and a second to acquire signs from Newman Signs not to exceed $2,000. Does that work? Any discussion on that? Okay, let's move to a vote.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
Yes.
No.
Hand up at yes. Wasn't expecting that. Okay, motion carries. Jaden, I don't know if you want this one. It's the 2025 year-end transfers and budget amendment.
Yeah, we know that.
So is this, Brett, is this just, are we just reviewing this or are we approving this?
Wendy, we're approving the year-end transfers,
Yeah.
correct?
Yep. So everybody got a chance to look at it? Any questions on anything? Everything looked good on my end. Brett, anything?
No, I mean, it looks great. Like I said, I'm very pleased with the work that you and Wendy and, well, all of us have done to make sure that our finances are in order and we're kind of creating that positive balance sheet for years to come and future commissioners, and it's going to be a very enjoyable thing for the new crew to step into here when our terms are up. But just something to be mindful of is we do have some outstanding projects there. So we are going to have to decide if we're going to, you know, allocate those for future years or execute on them. Because they are in different funds here, so.
Yep.
As far as the transfers go though, I mean, yeah, everything is on point. It looks great. Very happy with it. Yes, sir.
Set aside for the softball fields for the girls?
We did.
Is it gonna get done this year, or does that come down to where the flood zones are again?
That is gonna get done this year.
Yeah.
It is,
So far, yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Every year it's gonna go up. Price of doing stuff.
Tell you what, I'd, if you wanna talk a little bit about it at the end in the public comment section, I would love to do that. Okay. Hey, Jaden, this is your
Yeah,
project.
well, if nobody has any questions or anything, I mean, I'll make a motion to approve this, this 2025 year end statements without transfers. Wendy, is there any certain way you want me to word that, or does that suffice?
Yeah, I mean, you could approve the year-end statement without transfers and then with transfers and then the budget amendments. So those budget amendments are, if you see that sheet, that's, where possibly we went over budget
Mhm.
for some reason, or, there was something where we decided to do something mid-year and it wasn't included in the budget at all.
Okay. Well, should that be, do you want that
So-
all in one motion, or should that be?
We got Liz here.
Sorry, I'm gonna make your life super easy if you're the motioner, Jaden.
Okay.
I
Yep.
would say, you would move to approve the year-end transfers, without adjustment, with adjustment. And then, the amendments set forth on Exhibit A. And then Wendy can just mark that packet, Exhibit A, and that's what you would be moving to approve.
Okay, so I'll make a motion to approve the 2025 year end statement without transfers, with transfers, as well as the amendments that have been made.
I'll second that.
All right, we got a motion and a second to approve the year-end statement with transfers, without transfers, and the amendments that were made. Okay, let's move to a vote.
Yes.
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 And yes, motion carries. Thanks, Jaden. Thanks, Wendy. Good job. All right, moving on to the consent agenda, we've got bills, December financials, the Tioga Fund application for the after prom committee, two Tioga visitor promotion, requests, planning and zoning application, a raffle permit, and then the raffle permit that we added for the District Two, Republicans.
I will make a motion to approve the consent agenda.
I'll second.
All right, we got a motion and a second to approve the consent agenda. Any discussion on those?
I guess the one thing that I would like to bring up is regarding the Legion. I think that upcoming building will be a fantastic asset to the community. With many amenities within that building. I know Scott Post is in the crowd. He is your guy to go to if you have any questions regarding that, but it'll be a fantastic building when it is built. So thank you, Scott.
Yep, agreed. And Mr. Stewart, bills for this period was $204,555.71. All right, let's move to a vote.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes?
Yes.
Yes.
All right, motion carries. All right, public comment. Mr. Scott, should we talk softball field?
Yeah, one of the reasons I. So softball. It brought it to a forefront to me, and I was just wondering if. Because last year they said they were gonna get a field, we don't have a field, and it's just going up in price, and. Last year, the discussion of the flood zone, and then they're gonna put it over by the high school, and that. Got shot down too, so I was just wondering where we're sitting.
The loamer's done, the clomer's done. FEMA approved where we put it. We've got a detailed floodway map that we have to execute on. We're gonna build it per that floodway map. One of the lesser known facts is we were really, really hopeful that we were in line for a very sizable grant to help fund this thing. We went to the Williams County 1% committee. They approved a match from this rural catalyst grant if we were approved for it. That rang to a tune of a $400,000 grant with a $400,000 match, plus the funds that we were going to commit towards the project. So we were really looking forward to building just a fantastic facility for those kids. And unfortunately, there was only so much money available in that grant, and we just weren't awarded it, which is fine because we had already planned on building a field regardless. This grant kind of came about after the fact, so it was going to be a blessing if we got it. We didn't, but that's okay. We didn't push all our chips in on that grant. There's still potential that we could qualify for some funds from the Williams County 1%, being so that they essentially said that we'll match whatever the catalyst grant approves. So, I mean, I'm not ruling that out, not banking on it either. Like I said, we're going to build a field and it's going to be a nice field. The caveat to that was with that grant and the matching funds and the city's contribution, we were looking at refurbishing the south field as well, so that they were very much like in kind. We had two very pristine facilities for kids to play on and adults. I mean, everybody to play on. That was the thing. We had a planning call with Josh Reiner. When was that? Monday?
It was on Monday, yep.
Yesterday. And essentially said, project's still going. It's just we might need to tighten up our budget a little bit because we don't have all this additional money that we were hoping to spend on it. But at the end of the day, yes, it's absolutely going to happen. We have to make it happen.
Yeah.
It's just at what scale do we want to do it? That comes with an appetizing price for the community. Does that mean artificial turf? Probably not. I am very much so opposed to planting grass just because it will not be play ready in time. The reality is it's probably not going to be play ready anyway. By the time season's over, I would say, or maybe season starts, but yeah, that is the project. I mean, that's the thing. Our engineer knows that too. Like that is the only thing in his queue right now is to build that softball field. So it's in everybody's best interest to get that field built.
Is that more engineering?
That is more engineering.
Who did the engineering on the football field? Was
I
that
have-
more that did that too?
I
They
have,
got that done quick. That was impressive and how fast they got that done. And the kids have been waiting for 2 years on this field.
right.
Yeah, that was probably poor planning on the people that decided to put the community center together. That would be why that has been taken so long.
If you remember right, the promise was that the field would be relocated before the community center was built. Clearly did not happen.
No.
We got quotes to, well, we actually paid money to take the fence down and part of that was to put the fence back up. Scoreboard removal, replacement. We took the scoreboard and put it on the south field so the kids would at least have, you know, that feel of a scoreboard. But the reality is the the only quote that we had to put that field back in was over the threshold where you need to go out for competitive bids. That's where more engineering comes in. They got to put together a bid package. It has to go out for bids. I mean, we got to make sure that we are on the up and up procedural wise. We're not going to break, we just aren't going to break any rules on construction and dollar thresholds, and it just can't happen. But I promise you, I mean, everybody knows I've been barking about that ball field since the beginning of time, because that is, I mean, it's the kids' fun. That's their future. That's what they're gonna talk about when they're old. Like back in the day, I did this on that field. I mean, and these are seniors that are losing out on their senior years. That's
Can't
the,
seem to get them to play Legion baseball though.
what's that?
We can't seem to get them to play Legion ball though. Seems like they get to a point and it's like, no, I'm ready to join the workforce this summer. Don't see them no more.
That's the.
That field sits empty.
I don't know why that happens. I loved Babe Ruth. I loved Legion, and I was one of those that loved money too. I wanted to work. So I don't know. It's one of those things. But I mean, as far as organized high school sports, I mean, yeah, it's just a very, very troubling and difficult situation that we have to push through. I mean, there's been a couple brick walls that we've gone through with that Clomer process that kept getting delayed and delayed and delayed, and finally that's behind us. And in my mind, that is the hurdle. So now we just got to execute and get it done. And like I said, that is the only thing on our engineer's plate. So it is largely beneficial for everybody to get this thing done and in a timely manner.
Okay, I got
Come on.
stuff to say. So, we had our annual EDC meeting last week. And after that, we kind of voted or talked about some stuff, voted on some stuff, solidified what our objectives and goals are. And so my ask to city council would be that we can maybe collaborate on these lots that are downtown, the 6 lots. I've had meetings with, some people in Williston. I have a meeting with someone from the Bank of North Dakota, and I have a meeting with someone from the state, economic and finance. So I'm getting some stuff noted and what we can maybe touch into, apply for those lots. But I wanted to ask that, I don't know if I have to like make whatever. I just want to talk to city, collaborate. You guys have been really receptive to what the EDC wants. You've been helpful. And so I think that this would bring some really good business and commercial space. And so that's what our goal is to put some commercial space up on those lots and get them developed. And so the wheels have kind of been turning, and I've been talking to a lot of people this last week, this week, today. I was talking to some people from Williston, and so it's exciting. There's a lot of things that we can, like I said, dip into, but I just wanted to ask that maybe we collaborate a little bit from the EDC standpoint and the city. So we are all on the same page, and I think that it'd be very beneficial for both ends, because I've talked to some people that are really eager to get into some commercial space because there's nowhere that they can go. So I can get letters of support on that front ASAP. And so that's really exciting. And so I just think that if we have it to offer too, it might entice some people to move here and establish some roots here too, because we don't have that ability to offer extra space for businesses right now. So that's just what I wanted to talk about tonight and let you guys know that that's what we've been working on at the EDC. So
I'm more than willing to talk with you guys. I'd actually really enjoy that because, I mean, I've seen those lots empty for a long time now.
yeah,
And it's just wasted space, wasted opportunity, but have you talked to business owners on Main Street?
I've talked to a couple, yes, and I've talked to the people that rent our micro sheds, I guess you would call them. And they are in full throttle of having that next move into something bigger. And so that's an exciting change too, that they're looking forward to that. So
It'd be really interesting to know what their thoughts are, because they'll be sharing turf with everybody. Like,
Yeah.
what do they think we need? What could we use? What would be most beneficial? What do they wish they had when they started their businesses?
yeah, I agree.
And then absolutely just reach out to the community, anybody and everybody you can think of and ask them what they think, because there's a lot of good ideas in this town.
I
It's just,
agree.
we don't always hear them unless you
Yeah.
bring it up.
Our meeting kind of solidified what we are as one whole board, or they as a board and me, of what our ideas are. I think there was a lot of gray, and now we're like all on the same page of we want it to be commercial space. We've figured out where our mindset's at with that. So now that's why I'm here. It's open to the community, so it's out there. So hopefully people in the community want to have that conversation, and then, yeah, talking to you guys more about it. So it can go both ends, you know, so, yeah.
Yeah, I'd love to go talk with them and pick their brains and feel them out. And I'd definitely recommend one of you guys too. I mean, obviously we can't have a quorum doing stuff like that, but we can definitely have conversations. All right, guys,
6 lots, is that city owned property?
the EDC does.
What lot? I'm just curious, what lots are
Where the Christmas tree is at,
Oh, okay.
all that grass space.
Oh, okay.
Oh, and the micro sheds. So, sorry.
I'm sorry, what, okay, yeah. So you're like wanting to put businesses in that open green space?
Developed it and just, have office space there, commercial space, so we can,
Okay.
hopefully invite some more attraction.
Okay. So what about, and I can't remember, is it called Tioga Square? Like just north of Cashwise?
Yeah.
You've got the apartments and you've got all of that
Office space.
office space. Why not utilize that instead of having to build? I mean, I get the downtown area, I understand that.
Yeah,
But here you have a building that's already there.
yeah, so the funny thing with that is that, I don't remember the people that own it, it's private, but you, like, let's say you have a bakery, you gotta go in and you're footing the bill for fixing it. It's just sitting there. There's nothing up.
Okay.
So
Okay.
that's what's deterred a lot of people.
Who's gonna foot the bill to build, say, I want a bakery on your lot,
Well,
who's gonna pay for that?
that's what the hope of the collaboration with the city and with us and what the meetings that I've had with the people so far, there's a lot of things that, the Bank of North Dakota, they have a couple different loan incentive programs for exactly what commercial state, for that type of a thing. So,
And you'll still own the property, so if I built a building on that, rent it, the property from you, I own the building. But I'd be paying you for the CDC or the property,
Well-
whatever. I could never
Yeah.
own the property.
no, I think those are all conversations to have. I mean, we talked a lot at our meeting about maybe just building and then like, we're gonna take over the subject of putting something on there and then whether we sell, whether we are the landlord and rent it, that type of thing too, so. But we finally just kind of are all on the same page about exactly what we want, because we we had a little bit of, well, what if it should look like this or this and that, so. Was that one open to the public?
Yeah,
Yeah, it
absolutely.
was in the paper.
I don't get the paper. You gotta put it on Facebook for me to see it.
Yes, I'll be better about that. I've been mad at Facebook, so, yeah.
And like where the city would want to maybe some sort of collaboration would be like, we want to see some new infrastructure. And if we maybe, you know, had a part in putting said building up, it would be a way to give people access to get a business going. And there might even be a little bit of an incentive for us that we can make some revenue off of. Because as a city, we are pretty limited to what we can make money off of. We don't really have a lot of
I'm sure
things.
you already know, it's part of the Renaissance Zone.
Yep.
And there's tax incentives that the city,
Mhm.
slash,
Yep.
even the county will forgive for 5 years or something like that.
Yeah, it is.
You know, so I mean, there's a little bit there,
Yeah.
too.
And like,
Which makes sense, but I'm gonna go back to, and I don't know, because I wasn't living here at the time. But you have like that building that obviously was built at a time where it was thought to be, you know, and you see it in Stanley where it's got the businesses and then whatever is up top. And I just, like, that's already built, so why couldn't there be some type of incentive because the building is there? I don't know who owns it.
I don't know if that falls in the ordinance of the Renaissance, does it? I don't think that does. And I think it just goes back to people have been genuinely interested in it. It is
Oh,
like, if, like, I own a flower shop or whatever, like, I'm not gonna go and flip that bill. Like, that's just been the absolute stone wall of nothing going in there.
I guess from somebody, okay, and again, I just speaking out of like, if I owned the building, would I not, like, whoever built the building, why would you not want to put businesses to make money?
Exactly.
And
That's been the
with
million
this,
dollar question.
I mean, that's just I'm just asking out of curiosity, because I just think it's a, what a waste of space. Like, why can't the city work with whoever owns the building to do something? But I do understand the downtown area, because it's a really cool area, it's really cool vibe. But you have this building that I just, like, you drive by it, and I don't know, it's just such a waste, because the building is already there.
Yeah,
So why not bring an incentive, like, we have this building and what it would cost, I don't know, because I don't know financials and stuff like that. I just, I don't know.
I think that the part that ends it is the people who privately own that. I don't think have ever communicated with the city and or have been,
Has the city ever communicated with them, though, is my question.
I don't know, I can't speak on that.
We've referred people to them,
Yeah.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
so there's been at least that from
Yeah.
my end of it.
I just heard that they're not,
Everybody's.
They're just not willing to work.
They're not willing to work with people.
Yes.
And that's really sad.
About $250 a square foot to come in there, and it's a tax write-off for them.
Yeah.
That's all I can say. It's the same thing with the property up there too. That's
it makes it fun to,
Well, I mean, it's really sad, because like,
Yes.
you have this great
The only thing you could
opportunity.
do is,
yeah,
I could
Well,
build
that
a
answers my
building on
question.
that, but then if you had businesses there, who would do? I don't. If we had businesses on Main Street, we have no parking. Each business would have 3 or 4 customers at a time. We need some parking down there or something.
I think, is there an alley behind there that I guess he wasn't?
Yeah, there's an alley.
That's what I was thinking too, like behind it.
Yes.
In the ordinance, it shows that businesses to provide employee parking.
Okay,
So that would probably be in the alley. And in the front, Main Street would be your customer. You know, thing.
and I guess I probably was unprepared for this session of talking. I should have emailed Wendy kind of a vision of like, and we're not doing it, but what a vision could be of like hypothetical, what it could look like. I don't think people quite grasp what I'm trying to show is just should be there, simplicity. It doesn't need to be this big large drawn up thing and just some commercial space that is great for X, Y, and Z, so.
So in planning, we have to look at the ordinance, you know, and just kind of at least follow the intent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So anyways, I just wanted to bring that to you guys so we could collaborate.
Okay, thanks, Josh. How about a motion to adjourn?
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
I'll second.
All right, we got a motion and a second to adjourn. Let's move to a vote.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes,
Yes.
motion carries. We are adjourned at 8:15 PM. Thank you.
Thanks, guys.